All right, y'all. Welcome back on for another little live here. See how long I'm on for. I just wanted to jump on here and talk about some fights coming up this weekend. And what do we got? Invicta FC tonight as well. So yeah, I won't be on here too long because I want to catch that card in about an hour. But yeah, I'm just on here for a little bit to talk about these fights. I didn't get a chance to talk about them earlier this week, but what's up, Zach? I want to talk about these three fights we have because I didn't even know it was three. I didn't even know we had three WMMA fights coming up. I thought it was only like one or two, but yeah, and not that many major fights though. Axel, what's up, man? Axel, what's going on? Dang, Axel, you missed the show Tuesday, man. We had a good conversation, man. Had a good conversation about the performances, good fights, past this past Saturday. But hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, um, like I said, Valentina's just on another level when it comes down to it. And yeah, good. I'm glad you're doing well, man. Two beats in Natalia and Valentina next. Two beats, he low key promoting Natalia, boy. He low key her promoter, man, because he is promoting Natalia like crazy. I mean, y'all know where I'm at with Natalia. I mean, that's my top girl out of my second triple threat. So yeah, but after seeing Valentina perform last week, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, she on her own level. I said it the other day, man. Like Valentina's just on her own right now, and hey, it takes a lot to figure her out, man. Like you got to be able to use what you have. Like I thought Manon had some stuff, which I think she could build off of what she had, but yeah, I mean when Valentina's turned on, it's just on another level, man. And I think every girl's gonna learn that. But yeah, look, we got a few more fights this weekend. On everything was, everything was off the charts last week. We had all the good flyweight fights. This time we toning it down. Well, we going back to strawweight and bantamweight, man. So nothing too major here. I know next week we don't have a card at all, but the following week we have the big one. We got the big one in Blanchfield and Barber. So gotta take a little breather in between that. That one I'm gonna go live for though. I gotta go live for that fight because somebody might get knocked out in that fight. Somebody might get choked out. So I will be live on that fight night. But let me see, man. Let me see. Let's see. Call said, "Do I think the only reason Silva won't beat Valentina is her lack of experience?" Well, it's going to be a mixture of things. It'll probably be, it could be a lack of experience. It could be a mix of what Valentina's bringing to the table. Like I think that's why to me that's why Manon Fior lost. I thought it was a mixture of tools from Valentina and lack of experience from her, but major experience from Valentina. So it's going to be a mixture of all those things of lack of experience, but Valentina's experience as well. Because you could have a little bit more experience, but if it's still not on the level to where you know how to make certain adjustments in a fight, like I think Grasso did her first time around, um, it really won't get you there. Like experience as far as using everything you have. Like experience as far as using your body, your frame, and so on. Like Manon had experience, but her experience wasn't on the level of the stand-up of Valentina. Like had her experience maybe been more as far as like using her body and her size, like maybe more experienced wrestling, she would see more success. And that's why I think Natalia might need a little bit more of. But I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. I'm gonna jump on these fights here real quick. Actually, I was disappointed to see Manon didn't come with a striking game to annihilate the counter striking. Manon did everything she should not do against the counter strike. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I was saying. That's what I said Tuesday night on the show. Like she tried to counter strike. You don't counter strike with a counter striker. I mean, even if you are a counter striker, don't counter strike with somebody with the UFC level of experience. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't do that. Like, this ain't the one to do that with. No, because even Grasso didn't purely like counter strike with it. She used some slick boxing technique and got her work by being more offensive and keeping Valentina back and throwing combinations. Like, you gave her too much room, man. Way too much breathing space. Way too much breathing space. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I remember actually. I remember we talked about it because I've been saying that about her too, man. Like, this ain't the fight, Like, people are asking me, like, do you think she can strike with her? I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, I mean, like, she could strike, but it's got to be a different type of striking. It can't be counter striking. You can't be outside here, like, not at all, man. Like, you're not fast enough for that. Stronger, yeah, maybe. Strength wise, yeah. Like, you might have more power too if you sit down on your punches, but I don't think that's going. It ain't gonna work. Valentina too quick and just smaller and quicker too. I just wasn't I just didn't like that game plan. That game plan, that game plan from round one. I mean, it just went downhill, and it showed right away because you ate some serious shots. But I really don't think she had like any cardio issues either, man. That was like hits to the nose, man, make you, just compromise your breathing. And when you get hit in the nose too, man, eyes start watering and blood start leaking. Then you start, kind of panicking, panic breathing too. So that takes a lot out of you. I like Zach. I would like to see Grasso and Manone. Actually, I would like to see how that one will play out first. Seeing as how they both lost this past Saturday. Yeah, let's see what we got. I think we're kicking off at 4 p.m. tomorrow, the UFC Fight Night card. Let's see, you got Luana Pinheiro and Tisha Torres fighting. Okay. Um, let's see where she's ranked right now. I think, yeah, Luana Pinheiro is still ranked pretty high. She's still ranked pretty high for somebody, I think, on a losing streak, right? Let's see, Luana Pinheiro is, oh, no, she's ranked number 15 now. Okay. Tisha is ranked number 13. So Tisha coming off of I want to say she's coming off of a loss, right? Tisha's coming off of a loss. No, win. She beat Carla Esparza. That's right. She finally got a win over Carla Esparza. Before that, she had lost to Ricci. 2 split decisions, Ricci and Dern. Now she's fighting Luana Pinheiro, who is still hanging on by a thread with a ranking, number 15, and she's on a 4-fight losing streak. 3-fight losing streak, sorry. Yeah, she's lost 3 in a row. Ebos finished her, Hill finished her, and then G-Rob beat her. So this is kind of weird, man, like how she's still ranked, but I guess that's why she's 15. But in my opinion, I think this should be a easy fight for Tisha. I think Tisha still has the speed and the experience to kind of get around Luana Pinheiro. Luana Pinheiro's got heavy hands, but I haven't really seen her do much when it comes down to like having like, I know she has judo on her side. That's been her big thing, but I don't really see her tossing Tisha Torres around like that. Tisha's pretty strong. Tisha's very strong. She's the type of fighter that I think doesn't really utilize her wrestling enough, but when you do clinch up with her, she clinches up with you. She is pretty strong. I think, hand speed wise, athleticism, I give that to Tisha. Luana Pinheiro, like I said, heavy hands, judo. She is strong, but still a little uncoordinated for me in my last couple of fights. I think she was just wide open for a lot of punches and big strikes from fighters like Ebos. So we'll see if she's kind of tightened up on those things. But I mean, real quick, I got Tisha Torres winning this fight this weekend. I think she'll be pretty much into a groove against this type of style. Pinheiro, I don't really think she has anything that Tisha hasn't seen before, So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Tisha Torres. Who else did you have this weekend? Another strawweight fight. Let's see. Denise Gomes is taking on Elise Reed. Wasn't Denise Gomes supposed to be fighting somebody else? Did somebody cancel? Hold on, let me see. Let me check this out real quick. Elise Reed was supposed to fight. No, they were already scheduled. Okay. Elise Reed's coming off a win over Jessica Panay. She lost to Loopy back in 2023. Only been fighting pretty much, let's see, once 2024 and once in, not twice in 20. No, she fought 3 times in 2023. She did have an active year. All right. I think Elise Reed, also that Taekwondo background, to me, kind of has that. Looks like she wants to be a boxer a little bit, but I see her committing more to kicks, not really too many jabs in her fights. When she does let her jab go, it's effective. That's why I think that, she could benefit training with somebody like Rose, since she likes to kind of bounce around more and be lighter on her feet. I think that type of style would benefit Elise Reed. Denise Gomes, she's pretty hard, when it comes to like that dog style. That's her thing. She has that hard overhand right. Ground game hasn't been the best though. I know Angela Hill had some moments where she was neutralizing her on the ground. Now I think she might have a little gas tank problem every now and then. That fight with Eduardo Morris, she skaped by in that one. She did scape by in that fight. I did give her that victory, but it wasn't easy. She had a heart. She's another fighter that doesn't really fight off her IQ. Even whenever she has a fighter hurt, she's not using her IQ. So if Elise Reed was to keep this thing standing for as long as she could, I think that she could have some success here. But might give that Denise Gomes here. I think strength wise and even her power is really effective. Would she score a knockout? I don't know. Last knockout she scored was almost 2 years ago against Yasmin Jauregui. She did finish Bruno Brazil. Could she finish Elise Reed? I'm sure. I'm kind of leaning towards that if she was able to land a big shot, but I'm really not sure if she'll come in there with that finishing attitude sometimes. Sometimes she's kind of lacking there. I think Denise goes by KO. She could get a knockout. Let's see. Axel said, I feel like Manon was very stressed during the night of the fight, and she was not during the fight week. I feel like in the first round, Valentina's aura got to her. That's the thing, man. You can't let that, you know what I mean? Like, fighters do that, man. Fighters, you got to come in there. That's why I say don't talk till after the fight. Don't say anything till after the fight. I think that's what we were talking about the other night, how, Grasso kind of played more into how Valentina felt about her. Valentina, I think she did. Like I said, Valentina underestimated Alexa Grasso. I think she did. And Grasso didn't care. Grasso, she just kind of played into it, didn't really say anything back, or didn't even really say anything to the champion as far as fighting. She was just happy to have the opportunity. She came in there and fought, and it surprised her. So usually when you talk or say anything, you might ruffle feathers, or you might bring out like some type of you might bring out some type of animosity, and then somebody might come back with a fight. They might come back with more of a fight plan on how to take care of you. Sometimes you get people's head. I don't really think it really gets into Valentina's head like that, those head games. But yeah, Grasso, she was like just kind of calm, cool that night of the fight and showed up. But I think the opposite was there for Manon there. Like when the interviews kept asking about those old tweets and stuff like that, I would just say, we're gonna focus on the fight. That's all they needed to be. Let's focus on the fight. Let's go from here. And that should have been her main goal too. Even like her team is just like, don't worry about Weili, don't worry about Valentina. Like, just don't worry about what she's acknowledging. Don't worry about what she's saying. Let's just prepare to beat her. Let's just prepare to go in there and do what we got to do. Right. Because like I said, there's still fights. There's still fight tapes out there that you can watch to go in there and say, this is how you fight a person, you know. But when your mind is focused on the wrong thing, you ain't gonna win the fight. Because like you said, that aura, man, like, you know, you already come in there thinking, uh-oh, the speed is gonna be off. Like, uh-oh, like I don't know what to do. You gonna be thinking about the next shot coming. Then when the next shot comes, boom, you dropped, you know. But yeah, that's just what it was, though. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, though. All right, yeah. So I think I'll go with Denise Gomes in this fight too. I'm gonna go with Denise Gomes. Maybe. Yeah. I think I will. Let's see. So I got Denise Gomes. I'm gonna go with Tisha. All right, and finally, some of y'all been asking about this girl, man. Y'all been asking about Tainara Lisboa. She been out for a while. Well, guess what? She's back. She had some knee issues, but she's back, y'all. All right. She came in pretty hot. You know, she came in, scored 2 wins. A little while back, she had a knee injury. I can't remember how bad it was. I don't know if it was I don't think it was like a torn ACL, but she did have a pretty serious knee injury that kept her out the rest of 2024 and 2023. So let me see here. Yeah, because she debuted 2 years ago, beat Jessica Rose Clark. Then she fought at the end of 2023. Yeah, she's been out the whole year 2024 because of the knee injury. So now she's back against Luana Santos. I guess Luana Santos is going to stay at bantamweight now. You know, I know what weight was that when she fought? Yeah, she fought Casey O'Neill, right? Hold on, let me see. Because she had fought Casey O'Neill. And then she moved up to fight. No. Hold on. What? Yeah, she fought Stephanie Edgar. Then she moved down, and she lost to Casey O'Neill in that last fight. She beat Agapova at 125. Then she lost to Casey O'Neill. Now she's coming back to 135. I think she's got more of a brawling style that kind of plays in the Tainara Lisboa. It's nothing too serious. Like, I don't think she's going to be like a huge threat. She's got heavy hands. But to me, if Casey O'Neill could handle Luana Santos, I think that a bigger, stronger fighter like Tainara Lisboa should be able to handle her. You know, she's got the Muay Thai background. And actually, you know, has a submission game, you know, because she beat Jessica Rose Clark with a little bit of everything. I mean, she was like outstriking her. Then she ended the fight with a submission, you know. So I thought that was impressive. To me, Luana Santos still kind of got like a flat-footed brawling style, kind of walks forward a lot, throws the overhand right, nothing really that sharp. Let me see how she handles this weight. You know, let's see if she looks better here. But I know she probably wants to try to get in where the talent pool isn't that heavy. You know, that's why she's moving back and forth from weights, kind of like Mayra Bueno Silva. Or maybe the weight's just better for her. I don't know. See, Tainara Lisboa, yeah, after seeing her 2 victories in the UFC, you know, beating one experienced fighter and then beating that Ravina Oliveira, I think she shows some good promise, you know. You see, her background kind of goes a long way back. I believe I said a while back she's fought Valentina like years ago. Yeah, she fought Valentina like over 15 years ago in like Muay Thai or something, you know. So that's been her background. It's Muay Thai strictly. But, you know, she's kind of been growing as far as being more of a well-rounded fighter. So I'm gonna give Tainara Lisboa the edge here. I know it's been a long layoff, but I think her skills are a little bit better than Luana Santos, more polished. So yeah, I just wanted to go through and give my picks on these 3 fights. But let's talk a little bit about this poll I put up, man. Oh boy, let's see. It's looking tight here, and to me, I can take this either way. But hold on, let me pull it up here. Ooh, wow. Over 200 votes. This one got a lot of votes on this one. Okay. So, all right. My poll here for Zhang Weili and Natalia Silva on who gets Valentina next. Seems like Weili's getting the edge here, right? Almost 200. Yeah, it's Zhang Weili at 58%. 58%. All right. 58% of y'all say Zhang Weili should get the title shot against Valentina, and 42% say Natalia Silva. All right. I know that makes Two Beast the promoter of Natalia Silva mad. Well, let me see if I can share it here. Hold on. I mean, y'all can see it. Go to the page. There it is. I'll just be nice and pull it up right here. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, Zhang Weili at 58% and Natalia Silva at 42%. Like I said, at this point, there's several reasons why I can take it or leave it. I could take it or leave it at this point because, for one, the top contender, Manon, she already got her shot. And I felt like it was her time to go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and do it. That's it. Right? Let's go ahead and get it. And then after the performance, that was the second key. Okay. The second, that was definitely the second key because it was how the execution looked. Like Valentina's execution in that fight, once again, just separates her from all the other fighters again, So, number one, Manon got her shot after earning it. Okay. Number two was Valentina's performance, which you can put number one or number two, however you want to look at it. All right. And then like I said, performance just kind of separates how she still is ahead of everybody else. And number three, Zhang Weili, she really want this fight, man. Well, she really want this butt whooping. Zhang Weili really want that jab in her face, man. I'm just saying. I mean, to me, like, do you think Zhang Weili will be more so competitive than Manon would be, or even Tyler Santos, or even like Alexa Grasso was in the first fight? That's my question. T, what's up? T said drop that like, yeah, thing. Like, what do y'all think, man? Do you think that, man? Do you think that Zhang Weili will be more competitive than either Tyler Santos was as far as strength and grappling? Do you think she'll get Valentina down? Do you think she'll have any success on the inside? Do you think she'll have any boxing success like Grasso did? Like, can you put all of that? Can she pull any of that together off of her frame, Easy? Since he mentioned her Weili being too small, like, does she have any of that? Like, does she have any of those things that kind of offset Valentina in any of those fights? Like, at least Tyler, her ground game was kind of something. She just lacked ground and pound and like IQ to kind of build off of that. Grasso was the only one that got a victory, a clear victory, and did well in that first fight, but then she went downhill from there. Manon, I thought, her inside game and her clinch game was effective, but they didn't really like I said, utilize wrestling to a really, really good effect. Like just holding's not going to do it. You got to work the body too. Weili's an easier fight for Weili's an easy fight for Valentina. Honestly, don't say that, man. You can make some people mad, man. So those are the things. Like she really wanted, man. Like she really wanted that bad. So it's like it gives a lot of people what they want. Like I'm sure this would be the first time Valentina would get a main event, right? Maybe. That'll be the next question. Like, is this going to be main event worthy? Like that's what I should have put in the poll. Is this main event worthy? Is a Valentina Weili fight main event worthy? Like, y'all think it's going to earn them this main event? When was Valentina's last main event? Nunes, right? Is this going to be that way? It's going to get her back on the card. Is it main event worthy? Because if it is, then yeah, sure. Like I'd say, Valentina been holding it down for a long time, so let's go ahead and give her go ahead and give her a main event. Nunes has had a few, so let's go ahead and give her one now. Like, but again, it's more off the strength of her opponent, right? Because Dana White's like, oh yeah, if Weili said she want that fight, I ain't gonna turn that down. Like whatever Weili wants, This was after the Suarez fight too. He was like, oh yeah, whatever fight she wants, I'll say yes to. If she wants it, we're gonna give it to her. So that's the crazy part. Like, Valentina been in the game for a minute, lot of championship fights, more title defenses, but she can't get a main event. So even if it is off of the strength of her name, Weili's name, I say, yeah, go ahead and let her have it. Right. So part of me wants to see that, because at some point there's going to be something like this that comes along. There's going to be something that a fight that's going to offset a division, and why not now? It wouldn't have been fair, like I said, if Valentina just got her belt back and then didn't make any title defenses. At least she made a good solid one now, this past Saturday. So making that good solid one, yeah, we could, go ahead and do that. Another reason why I just, hardcore part of me, look, the hardcore part side of me says this, all right. Like the hardcore part is that Natalia Silva has clearly earned the shot. Okay. She clearly earned the shot, just like anybody else on the come up. All these other girls that got 6-0, it don't matter. If it was any of them, I would say the same thing. Yep. They earned it on paper. They earned it. All right. But then I just look, man, like I look at the age, that the inexperience, and I'm like, are you sure now? Yeah, are you sure you really want to go ahead and get this shot? Like, yeah, you earned it. You earned it, but like, are you gonna win it? You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference. Like, of course, everybody's got to go in there and win it, but I'm just saying, like, is the style matchup, is the resumes really looking tight like that to say, okay, I can win this. I ain't just earn it, but can this person win it? Like, I know Two Beast, he's definitely going for Natalia Silva, but do you 100% believe she can beat Valentina though? Like, based off of what you've seen in Valentina's past fights, do you 100% believe she's got it in the bag? Oh yeah, that interview. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of it. I got to go back and watch it. Because I had to really, I had to pull up the captions. I had to pull up the captions, so I was just reading through it. But Axel said, I think Valentina beats both of them, beats Weili and Natalia. Okay. BJ said, I don't. I know you don't. I know you don't. What about you, 2Bs? Like I said, do you 100% believe that she is going to get it? Because outside of mainstream wise, yeah, outside of Weili being a well-known name, like there's really nothing. There's really nothing that the fight brings to the table. That's how I see it. But if it makes Valentina more money and gets her a main event, so people can finally see her, I'd be like, yeah, let's do that. And if Valentina wants it like that, if Valentina wanted it like that, I'm fine like that. But I kind of hate the fact that it just seemed like Dana's not even acknowledging what Valentina would want, right? It just makes it seem like since Weili's the poster child, right now, he's kind of like, oh yeah, she can get it, like whatever she want. Like, hey, Amanda Nunes, you move down to 125, fight Weili. That's the only way you won't come back. You know what I mean? All right, 2B said he does believe that Natalia Silva wins, though. Easy said, I'll say this, she'll be a lot more active than Valentina. That gives her the advantage by default. Okay. Active. Like, okay. Now you can be active now. You can move around all day. Okay. I agree. Like she will be active. She will be active. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna look at some fights too, and then I'm gonna look because part of me wants to say Silva can do it. Part of me wants to say that, but I gotta see some things again. Like I gotta go back and look at these last couple fights where she can build off of. There's a few things. There's a few things now because it's all in how she reacts too, off of a couple of good time jabs too, good time jabs, and what you're gonna do off of that. Tell you one thing, man, like pulling back ain't gonna be wise in this type of fight. I don't care how fast you are. Oh, you said Valentina headlines if they do it in China. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the only way she. Yeah, and it's gonna be off of it's off of Weili's power. But yeah, I see a lot of people want to see that fight. But I think the more people, I think it's obvious. The most people that want high five. What's up? I think high five. High five? Which fight do you want to see more of, Zhang Weili or Natalia Silva? Honestly, because to me, I'm more of a fan of somebody that cleans out their division. Like to me personally, like I think a second run for Valentina in her weight class would be interesting. You know what I mean? Like if she could do another 4 or 5 defenses, that would be interesting. Um, seeing Weili break, seeing Weili break Joanna's record would be kind of interesting to me too. Like if she could get past, like if she could do a 6 title defense thing too. To me those are. So I think most of those people are picking Weili fans or even like casual fans that want to see a big fight. Even some Valentina fans, and Valentina fans. But for me, that Natalia Silva fight would make sense though. I mean, it's the one that makes the most sense. Like I know Natalia Silva, like if Weili jumps in front of her, she probably will feel like a certain type of way. For me, it's more of like a recognition thing on in my opinion. Like that would be the only reason I would watch it, but like that's the only reason I would call for it at this point. Like if that's the only way Valentina can get like a main event and prove that she is one of the best fighters, yeah. All right, high five said, of course, Weili. The internet always goes crazy when Weili fights. Okay. Easy says she's always going to be hitting She's also going to be hitting Valentina too. I think Valentina's going to try to wrestle. I doubt that she'll stand with her the whole night. You're right. You're right. I mean, that's what she did to Grasso, right? I mean, she shut that down quick. She gonna be trying to wrestle. And there are some things, like I said, if Natalia Silva is able to do in this fight, like some things that she did against Grasso, if she did some things like she did against Grasso, she can do to Valentina at a kicking range. It'll be interesting because I don't see too many people that throw a head kick off of the hook on the same side in the flyweight division. So yeah, her speed is kind of different. So yeah, I think that could be some trouble there because Manon did throw up a few head kicks on Valentina a few times, but she didn't really build off of them. Had she maybe, like I said, maybe pushed forward a little bit more, throwing flurries, taking that jab away, and got into that range where she was out of Valentina's kicking range, kind of throw off balance a few times and go back on the outside, then mask, a few of those head kicks with jabs, she could have been effective because I see the same thing. Easy said, get on that Silva train. I know she's not your favorite, Silva. Who, Natalia? Oh boy. See y'all get my y'all get truth mixed up with hate. Do y'all got to go back and look at my resume when it comes to Natalia Silva? Do I got to drop the Do I gotta drop the videos easy? Come on now. I was telling y'all about Natalia Silva before y'all were talking about her. BJ know that. BJ, where you at? Because BJ the one always me and BJ been going back and forth about Natalia Silva before y'all was up in here, man. He talking about she's not my favorite. Oh boy. Don't let the truth don't let the truth come on now. You know that, man. You don't shock me, man. Don't get blinded. Don't become a fanboy now that you can't know the truth. What y'all talking about? Where BJ go? Now that I'm telling the truth, I'm not a fan of Natalia Silva. That's what it comes down to. BJ, tell him something, man. Now, BJ, listen. Now that I tell the truth on what a fighter needs to do, I'm not a fan of him. Now you're starting to sound like, oh, come on. I thought y'all different, man. Now I'm starting to sound. Now y'all started to sound like the Weili fans. Now, when I said Weili need to tighten her defense up, y'all got me mad. Y'all got mad at me. Y'all got mad at me, man. Then when I talked about Carla's wrestling being good, the Weili fans got mad at me. I was like, I'm just telling truth, man. Like, come on now. The truth, man. Like, hey, that's all I know. I don't be talking trash, but hey, you know, the truth ain't trash. Y'all killing me, man. I put y'all on the tally, man. I said, who is in my second triple threat at the top of the list? But y'all look who we dealing with, man. We deal y'all know we talking about Valentina right now, man. Come on now. Y'all better say something. Look, we know she active in volume, but what's Valentina capable of? Even I was realistic about how Manon fights, man, versus Valentina. You know, even I said that, like, she can't strike with her like that. I was like, Valentina's gonna be faster, and her counter skills level, her counter striking level is way higher. So I was like, it can't be that type of fight. You know, she's not gonna win that type of fight from the outside. You know, that's why I was like, hey, come on now. Like, even I told you how she needs to fight her. Like, with what she has, this is what she needs to do. You know, I'm like, come on, man. Natalia Silva, you know, I put y'all on this channel and tell y'all what she's capable of, man. I put y'all on that. But now I'm a Natalia Silva hater. Come on, man. Anyways, I would love to see the fight, of course. I would love to see it because she on, you know, all jokes aside, her style is something different that even Valentina hasn't seen before. But, you know, Valentina having dealt with so much, you know, she'll find some way to adjust to it. And she might not. This is MMA. You'll get Stam and say, yeah, you done offended me, man. You know, that's what I'm saying, Stamina. Like, the only time I get offended, like, I get offended when I said something and you act like I didn't say it. You know, B just said, just like I'm a ditch of a hater. Yeah, BJ, you got to bring her name up, man. Every time you talk about the top five, BJ, you got to put her in the top five talk as well, man. You got to put her in the top five talk as well, man. Like, when you talk about Aaron, Macy, Manon, Grasso, Valentina, you got to say Dakota Ditchman's name as well. Oh no, you know, easy. I gotta school y'all sometime, man. Y'all, yeah, I know how people do, man. Because people see that and they're gonna be like, "Oh, he hating on Natalia Silva." Now I'm like, no, I'm looking at reality right here, man. Natalia Valentina is gonna be a snooze fest. I don't know. I think it'll be about as much of a chess match. Like, well, no, it probably won't be as much of like a chess match like the Manon fight was, because I think Natalia will be out of range more. She won't be getting touched as much. So we do know that Weili and Valentina, that won't be a snooze fest. So um that might be what they're looking for right now. I don't know, man. Like I said, Natalia, she can do with some she could do with some growing though, right? Getting more fights on your resume ain't bad. I mean, yeah, Natalia Silva's like 28 years old. It's not like she's past her prime or anything. That's another thing that I do look at. Like, if Weili wanted to fight Valentina and they made that fight, I don't think it would be like a total diss to Natalia Silva, because we acting like, oh, this means Natalia Silva gets cut. No, like Natalia, if she's still as good as she is and she stands above the other girls, every other fight should be a breeze for her, right? And she can still gain some experience, Because every time, the level steps up, like you kind of have to push the level what you expect from the contender up too, right? Like um after, let's say, after Valentina lost the first fight to Grasso, right? You have to kind of look at it like, okay, let's see how she lost and why she lost. Then you see the draw and you're like, okay, well, okay, so whoever is next should be next. Then they put their 6-0, they put their 6-0 resume together. That person should be next. Then Valentina Manon wins against Aaron. Then Valentina wins against Grasso in the third fight and looks better. It's like, okay, well, Manon has 7 fights now. Okay, she's ready. But now you see how this Valentina comes back against one of these flyweights that's bigger, stronger, and she wins. Then you go, okay, well, maybe the next person might do well to get some more experience then, some even more experience, and just keep doing that, keep stepping it up, especially if you're younger. Because, yeah, Natalia, I mean, she ain't even 30 years old yet, She's not even 30 years old yet. So it's like, yeah, go ahead and, if need be, if they do that, like, I wouldn't take it, like, I don't think she needs to take it to heart or anything like that. That's my thing. Like, that's basically what I'm saying about her for Natalia Silva. Like, if they do make the Valentina Weili fight, I don't think that Natalia needs to take it to heart or get mad or anything or upset. Just see that as a blessing in disguise to say, oh yeah, like all right, while she's doing that, I'm gonna fight one of these other girls. Because Aaron said, like, if Aaron said I beat Barber, she's like, I'll fight the Grasso Silva winner. So Aaron's already letting you know she's down. So Natalia Silva versus Aaron or Macy, that's a good fight. That'll put her at she beats one of them. That'll put her at 8-0. And then it'll look even more impressive and it'll be more experience for her. So, like I said, every time the level kind of steps up for the champion, then, the contender has to step up too. The contender's level has to step up too. They got to put together an impressive win streak and, look even more scarier than the last person did. Aaron's an easy fight. Hey, Aaron didn't win yet now. So it could be Barber. You just never know. He said Aaron's an easy fight. Could be Barber. You could be saying Barber. We just don't know, right? How High Five said Manon had a bad weight cut. I don't think so. To me, she actually looked better at this. She looked better here than she did the Aaron weight cut. Because even like in that first stare down, I could tell she was already kind of losing weight. She looked better. She looked better at this weight in the meet than she did the Aaron one. Maybe even the Rose one. I thought she looked fine the way in this time to me. Axel said, "Who should Minone fight next?" Grasso. I think they should fight next. I think they should fight next. Boy, they both look like they've been in a fight though. They really need to work on their defense. So I mean, like I said, a lot of WMMA fighters need to work on their defense. You know, trying to think who else had Valentina's defense is always sharp. I would say, compared to the other girls, yeah, definitely. Who's another fighter that doesn't like to get hit a lot? Jacqueline Cavalcanti, she seems to be pretty good on her stand up as far as how she's looking. Norma Dumont, she seems to be a little defensive minded too. I like how she fights. Like her last fight, she didn't really get pulled into like a full on punching match with Irene Aldana. She fought with her jab a lot and moved around. Um, Natalia Silva, of course, yeah, like Natalia Silva, yeah, Natalia Silva, defensive minded. So yeah, defense goes a long way too. Defense goes a long way. Like if your mindset against the champion is to go in with more of a defensive mindset too, that will always protect you from the big shots and those hard shots that are being thrown, and you always be looking out for the tricky shots being in those type of matches with Valentina. So defense is very important, man. No, I don't think yeah, Claude said I don't think Grasso is number one after losing that third fight when they still had her listed at number one. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I didn't agree. I didn't think that was right at all, man. I was like the way she lost that 50-45. Rest in peace, Grasso era. Oh man, that thing been gone, man. That thing been easy. That thing been gone since the draw. You thought I was gonna say the third fight, man. The Grasso era been gone since it's been gone. Grasso era been gone since when was that second fight? When was that second fight? I can't remember when the second fight was. Was the second fight in September as well? September of 2023? Yeah, that's when it was gone. Because Valentina technically already won it back then. Jasmine, I think Jasmine versus let me see. If Natalia Silva gets her title shot, then I think Jasmine should get the winner of Blanchfield Barber. Yeah, if that happens. If Natalia Silva has the weight, I think she gets the Blanchfield Barber winner, and Jasmine would get the Blanchfield Barber loser. But I don't want to see Jasmine fight Natalia Silva again. I don't want to see that. I don't. Jasmine, I'm giving her full props. She's definitely improved since her last few fights, but I don't think her style's improved enough to beat Natalia Silva. That's just a different type of style. Yeah, if Jasmine wants that winner, they give it to her. Yeah, give her the winner, Aaron Barber. Like if they're not going to do the title, if they're going to do the title shot from Natalia, get that fight up, give that fight to Aaron, get that fight. I know Aaron would take it too. Well, Barber probably would as well. You know what? I bet you if Barber wins, she'll probably call for Grasso. If Barber if Barber wins this fight, she still want that Grasso winner, man. She still want that Grasso rematch. Norma Dumont being champion. She could. The way the division is right now, if Kayla Harrison wins, I'm sure Amanda's going to come back. Maybe then Amanda retires. I don't know if Norma beats Amanda though. I know my fantasy fight I want to see is Norma versus Kayla at 135. Hopefully we get that at some point. Hopefully Kayla Harrison saves a weight cut for that Norma Dumont fight. Hopefully she's able to make that weight for at least how many ever times it takes to get that fight. Okay, almost 8:15. I'm gonna check out. All right, this Invicta FC card only has 5 fights. Are they serious tonight, man? YouTube is putting the prelims on. Like, this whole card needs to be on YouTube. There's only 5 fights. They got 1 prelim and 4 main event fights. So y'all, come on, man. This whole card needs to be on the YouTube channel tonight. The prelims is only 1 fight. That's crazy, man. 5 fights, and they're gonna make the prelims on one for just for 1 fight. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Yeah, they ain't showing the whole card on YouTube. They need to. Look at this. Prelim start at 8:15, and there's only 1 fight. Main card begins at 9 p.m. on CBS. I don't have CBS, man. Who's on this card? Deanna Bennett. Okay, so we got Charles Lee Maynard, Alexandra Lawal flyweight fight, both making their debut. Okay, both 0-0. Ashley Barrett versus Quinn Williams at strawweight. I think I saw Quinn Williams fight before. Was she fighting for Combate, I think? Yeah, she lost in that Combate fight. And then she fought in LFA. Combate, LFA, Invicta. Yeah, okay, she's moving around. Okay, Milana Dudieva versus Amanda Torres. Another flyweight fight. Deanna Bennett, Rayla Nascimento. It's another flyweight fight. And then you got a bantamweight fight. Katarina Lehner, Olga Rubin. All 3-round fights this time. There's no championship fight on this card. All right. Yeah, I don't have that CBS thing anymore. Like, I don't think I ever did, really. All right, so who on the most part, who in the chat really wants to see Weili over Natalia Silva get the shot? Olga Rubin still fight? Yeah, Olga Rubin been fighting for a while. She's been active on Invicta over the past couple cards. Let me see. Olga Rubin fought. Let me see. Olga Rubin fought twice in 2023. Once in 2024. Now she's fighting twice in 2025. Yeah, she was out for like 2 years. It was back in 2019 or 2020 during the COVID thing. But yeah, she's been pretty active. She's on a back-to-back losing streak right now, though. She lost to Toledo Bernardo. Hadn't won a fight in 2 years. Easy said the fight doesn't make sense then. Yeah, it don't. It makes money though, right? That's what they trying to push for. Cause she said, hey, Weili says destiny, man. She called for it. Natalia better say something, boy. She better be like, hey, shut up. That's an Natalia. No, that ain't Natalia Silva style, man. Like She needs to tell Weili to stay out my division. No, you know, in Natalia Silva needs to say, go fight Rose first. You know, just kind of you know, that's just minor trash talk. You know, as long as like Natalia ain't like beefing with the champion, you know, in her division, right? She could always say something like, hey man, like, why don't you go fight Rose as a tune-up fight? Go fight your third fight with Rose first. And then come try to fight my champion. You know what I mean? Just something like that. But I'm sure that ain't her, you know, that's not really her style like that. Because every time I look at boxing, you know, when guys move up in boxing, they usually you have to be really, really solid or really, really good, you know, when you're moving up to fight for a title. And I know Weili is, but man, there's a lot of good fighters in this division right now. Like, people would love to see her tested. And you know, I agree with Aaron too, man. Like, I do agree with Aaron. Like, you know, Aaron said, you know, it's a different division. Like, she said, I've seen her before and she's kind of small. And I guess she just feels like, you know, this division is different. And you know, Aaron's felt the strength of these girls. You know what I mean? Like, Aaron has felt the strength of these girls. And like Aaron said it when she was fighting Manon, like Manon was strong. And I'm sure Valentina felt Manon's strength, you know. So, and Aaron is strong. You know, Aaron herself is strong. You know, Aaron is strong for the division. Manon, she's strong for the division. Alexa Grasso is pretty strong. You know, Barber is a strong girl too. So, you know, your top five, you know, these are some heavy girls, you know, and they are strong. But, you know, I'm sure Weili, she's gonna prepare some way, somehow. You know, she's gonna prepare. That doesn't necessarily mean she's gonna win, but you know, she's done what she needed to do in the past to get where she is. The current Rose would be destroyed by Weili, in my opinion. And she might, but Natalia Silva, she need to make it known. She need to be like, hey, you got to fight her first. I was kind of surprised they did match up Rose with Miranda Maverick, though, you know, because you know Miranda's still on her come up, and it benefits her more than it does Rose. You know, I thought they would have put Rose in there with somebody like Arujo or Jasmine. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, for Valentina's size, I would say she's probably the strongest in the division. Yeah, no doubt. Like, she's, you know, got to be the champion. The champion is the strongest. Like, the champion is the strongest in the division purely. Yeah, all levels of strength. You know, like going down to the fifth round. Um, her physical strength, striking strength, everything. You know, is all pretty much all around, just well rounded. All right, two beats. I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look at the rest of that interview, and I might do a video on it. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do. That's what I'll do. I'm gonna watch the interview, then I'll do an interview. I'll do a video because I know it's in Portuguese, right? Yeah, so I'll do that. I'll do that. I'm gonna watch it all the way through, and I'll give my thoughts on it, and we'll see. We'll see if I change my mind fully. Like, because right now I'll take it or leave it. I'll take the Weili fight or leave it. And Valentina said, I'm gonna leave it in the fans' hands. Really, you know, Valentina was like, hey, if the fans want to see, it's whatever the fans want to see for her at this point. Because Valentina said, I'll fight either one of them. Because yeah, you know, Valentina got nothing to prove now. You know, she's on her second reign, made a first title defense. So everybody got to come get some now. Like, you know, like it's always been. Let me see if this hold on here. Let's see. James said you can't auto translate. Yeah, you can auto translate. I had to auto translate the subtitles because the subtitles Well, yeah, the caption was in Portuguese too, but yeah, I hit the English translate. Easy said Manon would do well at 135. All those girls move in slow motion. I think I'll tell you this, Easy. I think she would have trouble with Jacqueline Cavalcanti though. I think that would be a tough fight. Cavalcanti would probably be her toughest fight though, in my opinion. Like that striking IQ is pretty good, pretty solid. Kind of reminds me like a Amanda Nunes with like less power, you know, a more like I hate to say maybe like a technical, I guess like a technical Amanda Nunes, not well, she's like an Amanda that depends more on technique, I would say. Yeah, because she's not really knocking girls out, but she knows how to like outstrike girls. So yeah, I would say yeah, that would be a really tough fight. Jacqueline Cavalcanti, yeah. Cavalcanti, she can strike too. I like her. I like her style too. That's I'm high on her. Pretty high on her style. Oh yeah, Gabby said the UFC condition is if the champions want to move up, they have to vacate the belt. So Weili has to risk it. Yeah, I remember in the last interview, Weili did say that if she moves up, they want her to stay up there too. So she's got to make some choices. She's got to make some considerations. I'm gonna talk about that too because I think people missed that when I discussed it before. So there's some other things here that she has to look out for because when she was discussing it, she was like, the team right now, we're like thinking about it, and she keep bringing the fight up too, though. Like she keep playing around, bringing it up, but she already said it herself. The UFC said if she moves up, she's got to stay up there. That's another thing I know people probably forgot. Yes, that's why we bringing that. That's why we bringing the whole thing up too. That's why I'm bringing it up. Like, how would she fare against these other girls? Because she gonna have to stay up there. Axel said, I'm pretty sure Mano would beat Corneau. Yeah, I think she could beat Corneau. I think Cavalcanti trouble for her. Let's see, Corneau. I would say Corneau and Dumont would probably be her toughest fights because I think she could beat Irina Aldana. Manon at 135. I think she could beat Irina Aldana, Eileen Perez, um, Chason. That would be a good fight. I think Dumont, like fighters that aren't the champions right now, fight. I'm looking at like just other ranked fighters, not necessarily the champions, but I think that fighters like Dumont and Cavalcanti would be stylistically a little bit troublesome for Manon. I think she could be. I think she could be Rocky. I do think she could be Rocky Pennington at this point of her career. This point of Rocky's career. But when you start getting into harder fights, Juliana Pena, you got to have some firepower to get her off. So, Manon would have to make sure that her power carries up. I'm sure if the weight cut's not rough and doesn't really diminish her, strength, she could probably outwork Pena, but you got to work. You got to work on Pena. Like you got to give Pena credit. Pena might not come in there with the technique and the savvy for long, but her dog is something. You got to fight her off, man. You'll be in a fight with Pena though. So when you start talking like Pena and of course Kayla Harrison, those fights at the top would be kind of rough. If Weili moves up, Verna against Dern for the belt. Um, um, that would be a. I would like to see Verna get that rematch back because I think Verna did beat Dern, but I don't think Dern really deserves a title shot right now. Um, who else is there? Who else is there? Who else we got in there? Jan just lost. Lemos ain't really on much right now. Like it's a win streak. They might just have to give Werner the belt, right? Have they done that lately? No, they don't do that in the UFC. Like if the belt is vacant, they don't give it to the next person. I don't think that would be fair. No, I want to see Werner beat somebody for it. Yeah, Weili got to be prepared for that though, man, because she's gonna get stuck there. She's gonna be stuck at 125, and I don't see her going on no win streak at 125, man. Like if Weili did beat Valentina, let's just say if he did, like who would she beat in the title defense? I mean, yeah, well, the UFC wants Weili to stay at 125, so that's the deal. That's the deal with moving up. She said that was the deal. She was like, they don't want her moving back down if she does it. So it's a take it or leave it type of thing. So I don't think we'll get that Valentina fight then. Like if she doesn't move up, then she's not getting it then. So we can move on from there. And if that's the case, fine. It's not like a fight that really needs to happen, in my opinion. Weili has as much time as her body allows her at this point, depending on how she fights. I think, as long as she starts trying to really fight a little bit more conservative and not putting her chin at risk and, starts to evolve with time, as long as Weili's style can evolve with time, meaning no more brawls, no more a lot of firefights and things like that, I think she could fight for at least another 4 years, 4 to 5 years. And in that time, I'm talking about these have to be clean wins. She's got to be winning some clean, boring fights every now and then. Because see Valentina in that September fight against Alexa Grasso, she just gained 5 more years fighting like that. People hate it, but that just bought her some more life in the fight game. People don't understand. Like every now and then, like when you've been in there the rough fight, like the last couple Grasso fights where she was taking big shots on the chin, you can't be doing that all the time. Sometimes you got to take a break and take a different approach. So I think, for like Weili, when she when she gets older, she's got to kind of evolve with time, start fighting the way your body tells you to. But when your body says it's time to go, that's a different story. It's time to go. Your body will tell you. I mean, that's why she kept going down in that Yawn fight. That's why Pena was going down in that Rocky fight. I mean, she got dropped once, but I mean, she was getting buckled a couple of times. That was her chin saying, "Hey, we can't fight like this anymore. We gotta stop this style." So hopefully Pena does, her thing, man, and kind of takes a more economical approach in this Kayla Harrison fight. Axel said, I have a question. Do you think Manon is not lethal enough in her striking and wrestling? All the knees she was landing on Val, none of them were targeting the liver or vital points. I think a lot of those shots were not lethal, to tell you the truth, Axel. Because I'm going to give it to you like this. Look, Dakota may not be in the UFC and her quality opponents are not UFC, but the thing that makes Dakota scary for me against the contenders is the quality of shots, the kill shots that she's landing. I like when people land for kill shots. I think Manon was more so staying busy, which when you fighting the champion, like when Pena fought Amanda Nunes, when Grasso fought Valentina, they were landing a lot of like kill shots and respect shots. Valentina was landing respect shots on Manon. The nose. That's what I'm always saying. Hit the nose, hit the nose, hit the liver. Hit the temple, hit the ear, hit somebody in the chest or in the neck. That's why I think a lot of those shots were more just to try to take around. Hopefully get around, but not really like to finish Valentina. Like that's what I was saying. Like in my keys of victory, like when you get a fighter to the cage like that, she need to start working like Valentina's ribs and really getting in there, digging in deep, digging with body shots and not just trying to land, but you gotta really hit to hurt your opponent. She wasn't lethal though. No, those shots weren't lethal. Grasso's was more lethal because them was hitting square on the jaw, right on the face, right in the face. Gary said Manon's strength is good. Her power is overrated. I don't really think she's ever been. I never really rated her power. I don't think too many people rate her power that high. I really wouldn't say she's known for power anyway, right? Can't really say it's overrated because how many people has she knocked out? Same thing like Macy Barber. Like sometimes I think I overrate Macy. I think we overrate Macy Barber's power a little bit more than it needs to be because ain't really knocked out that many people at the high level. Gabrielle said, should Jazzy fight Grasso next? Hmm. That's not a bad matchup. That's actually not bad because if Jasmine wants to get to the top, I mean, I think the Manon Grasso fight would be good, but I think Manon could actually fight the loser of that fight. Like if Aaron lost, Manon and Aaron could run it back, or Manon and Barber. Yeah, that's not a bad idea because I mean, if she wants to get to the top, Grasso would probably be her safest bet to get there. Yeah, Jasmine has to fight either Manon or Grasso. I would rather her see fight Grasso. I think she could win. I think that's a fight she could win. Looking in her point of view, I think that's a fight that would be better for her. Yeah, she kind of got some beef with Blanchfield now because she was like, I beat her teammate. Now I want to beat her. Stammen said Weili would torch Barber. Look at him. He trying to pull BJ out of here somewhere. He trying to summon BJ up with that comment. I mean, after looking at that resume, after we went back and watched them fights, I mean, there's some fights that Barber already lost on there. Or you could say were losses. I'm just saying. In all honesty. Don't tell Paul that, Stammen. Stammen said Weili gonna torch Barber. Don't tell Paul that. I know Jasmine wanted to take a break because she's been fighting for so consistently, I know she's trying to get married too. Uh-oh. If she want to keep fighting, man, go ahead and fight for that belt before you get married because you don't want don't change the vibe yet. The UFC, they do like her. They've been giving her fights. I know she wanted to take a little break, so that probably would be a good turnaround time. They come back around the same time because let's see, everybody's on the same schedule here. Manon fought the same night as Jasmine. Aaron and Barber are just a couple weeks out, so that could be doable. All right, but on that note, y'all, I just hit that like button. I'm gonna jump off of here. I just wanted to jump on here for a little bit. So I know next week I'm gonna be out the whole week chilling. Birthday week. I mean, I'll be working and stuff, but I'm gonna just get off of here for like a week, just do some stuff. Um, Maybe I'll get on one more time. Maybe like this Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. But before I bounce, before I bounce, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna watch that interview. Maybe talk about that. I'm gonna watch that a little bit later because, yeah, it was getting a little interesting. Just have to keep reading the subtitles, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and watch. It's only like 15 minutes, I think. So yeah, I'll check that out later. Stammer said, "When's your birthday?" Mine is Monday. Mine is next Friday. Next Friday. For me, my birthday is the whole week. that's that's how I see it when I do my thing. My birthday be the whole week. Yeah, happy early birthday to Stamina too, and Easy to happy birthday. I appreciate it, man. Ah, look, BJ said I wasn't about to bite that bait. There you go. He came out. He came out. Easy said I'm having surgery Monday. Oh, okay, man. Hope it's nothing too serious, but hey, I keep you in my prayers, man. Hope you have a good recovery, and hopefully, whatever it is prevents whatever caused you to get surgery. Let me just put it that way, Easy. So, wishing Easy the best on that one, man. Ah, boxer's fracture. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I remember for a while I never got it checked or fixed or anything because it just went away with time. I remember I used to have issues with the wrist after a while when I'd be working that jab so much. BJ said it's a one while it lasted. Oh man. Oh yeah, man. BJ said I got Montana news. She asked me not to say though. Okay. Well, it ain't news for us then. Well, you ain't got no news, man, because you can't tell nobody. And don't I mean behind the scenes if you want to tell me, I mean, hey, it's all good. Easy say I'll just say Mexicans have hard heads. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, BJ, who did you say you want to see? Weili, or did you want to see Natalia get it next? I know BJ gonna be like, oh, Natalia don't need that shot. I'm just killing a few minutes here because I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna eat for dinner here tonight. Went on a nice little fast now. Just so I can eat something. Weili. Okay. He says Weili. Yeah, yeah. Okay, hold on. And yeah, that's only fair. I'm trying to think like what does Whaley possess now that would offset um, Valentina? Like what would Whaley have that would offset Valentina? Remember, it's the first time moving up to 125. She's already fought a lot of strong people before. Valentina wrestles herself. I mean, her wrestling experience is way higher. Um, she's already fought some of the better strikers in her division. I'm just trying to think, like in a technical way, yeah, like casual fan way, yes, Weili is the one that everybody wants to see. Natalia though earns it. Weili, technically, smaller fighter moving up, never really fought a flyweight before, doesn't necessarily have certain tools that to me that could just go in there and disrupt Valentina's rhythm, like you've seen even Grasso do in the past. Natalia Silva, on the other hand, she got a style now. She got a style. She got a style that could be different now. So even if it's not well rounded, BJ, like Natalia Silva's style in general could be problems, Because I already think, Weili not gonna come in there stronger than Manon was. She's not gonna come in there stronger like that. And Valentina couldn't even get Manon down in this fight. She had that first down because Manon's nose is busted. But outside of that, like Weili, I don't know, like if Weili bounces back up from a takedown from Valentina either. Yeah, she got to vacate. That's what we were saying earlier. Gabby was saying that too. She got to vacate, and that's what makes it ugly, man. Because when she vacate and she fight it this weight, she gonna be up in them rankings. I mean, of course she can move back down if she wanted to, but she ain't gonna have no belt anymore. That's why I said, even before, like it would have been nice to see her fight somebody like Barber just to kind of grow into the weight or somebody. Because what makes think now, like I'm gonna be serious now. I'm gonna ask another question. See, Easy, this next question I'm gonna ask is gonna get the Weili fans mad, just like y'all mad at me about Natalia. I'm just all right. Outside of Weili being a champion, what makes her different where she doesn't have to grow into the weight like Rose and Grasso did? Okay. See, my mind is just working like that. I have to think of that. Like I'm thinking of these things. What makes her different outside of her belt that she doesn't have to grow into the division like Rose and Grasso? Before Grasso could touch that belt, she had to grow into the division. Rose, she tried to come in right off top and fight one of the top fighters, and you saw, nope, couldn't happen. Had to go back and gain some more rope, muscle. Hit them strength conditioning ropes. Put on a little bit more muscle. And still then, lost to Aaron. But now she coming back again, putting on some more weight, muscle. She young, she could do it. So that's my question. Like, what makes that a little bit more different? Easy said absolutely nothing. Yeah, nothing. I don't think so. Neil said Weili fought at 125 prior to signing up for the UFC. Okay. Did she fight in the UFC though at 125? That's the major question. Because there's a lot of girls, Manon fought at 135 early in her career, but still gotta take on the 135ers like you move up here. Take your time moving up. She ain't fought at 135 a long time ago. Because these 130, 125 pounders, will be different. Yeah, I think Weili is strong for her size. I definitely think she is strong for her size. But I definitely think Valentina is strong too. Very strong. Um, to be said, my question is: if Yon can knock down Weili, what you think Val can do with wrestling skills more tested than Weili's? Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, test it over and over and over again. That's what I'm saying. Like we are just looking. Like when we really start to dissect this, I'm just letting you know where I'm coming from. Like I'm looking at this stuff. Like I know Weili wants that fight, and Valentina would gladly take it to get her back onto the main event, where I would love to see her as well. And it'd be fun to call too. Everybody they want to see. I'm sure they would load that card up too. But in all reality, I'm just like, is her style going to be a problem for her? Full time flyweight? Is her style going to be a problem more than the full time flyweight like Natalia? Neil said, didn't you want to say something? Weight strength was another level the second time they fought. Oh, Weili's. Yeah, she said she was strong, and she has gotten stronger. She has gotten stronger since her earlier days, which she should. Joanna had her last. Joanna was about done anyway in that last fight. She was done. Joanna been out for like 2 years. I think the opportunities might come in that fight. Easy, I think so. And it won't be because she's seeking it too. Like it won't be because she is a brawler, like you said. Like she'll have to brawl because she's not. Sometimes the opportunities will just they'll be there, and it might be one of the situations where it'd be like, oh, she get knocked down. You go, oh snap, she walked right into it. But the thing is too, like the thing that might give Weili a little success is if she puts volume together. If she puts combinations together and she stays moving, but don't keep them hands down. She tries to do a little bit of a parrying of that jab, parrying Valentina's jab, that right hand, and enter with her own combinations. Right hand, left hook combinations. If she can keep that bouncing rhythm from the outside and just stay working, she could have some her moments in that fight. All right. Oh boy. Well, on that note, hour and 30. Yeah, I was gonna be on just an hour, but I'll just go back and watch that prelim, man, because I thought they were gonna show like a bunch of prelims, but I'll catch it later. But I'm gonna give up off of here now, and I'll probably catch y'all on Saturday or Sunday or whenever. Maybe if these fights turn out to be good. Valentina also wants to have a little chat with Chael for constantly saying she's not nice. Did you hear? I didn't listen to it, but I heard pieces of it. Like I heard where Chael was saying something. He always got something to say about her, man. I was like, dang, man, he can't stand Valentina. Mastermind said Gotchenko hands down the best woman fighter after Amanda, right? Well, I know what you mean. Amanda's retired, so yeah, technically she is the best woman fighter. But when Amanda comes back, I know Amanda's gonna have something to say about that, right? All right, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm gonna get up off here for the night. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, I'm gonna listen to this interview and see what it says. Two beasts. Valentina probably didn't want to date him. Ugh, who would? He wouldn't want to date him. JL doesn't want to date himself. Valentine said the only date I want from him is them dates that them little fruits that them little date fruits. They're real sweet. She said those are the only dates I'll take from him. Them little date, like almost look like figs or plums or prunes. She said that's the only date I'll take from him. But on that note, I'm out. I actually got some. I might try one right now. Later, y'all.